Hello and welcome back to another episode of Farming Life at La Forge. For those of you who are new here, my name is Laura and this channel is all about our farming lives here in France. So as you have probably guessed from the title, we are building a new shed. So I'm going to explain a little bit the plans for the shed to you now. So out back here where the silage pits are behind me, we have got a machinery shed down here that was built a few years ago. So we're going to be building a shed here. It's a bit of an awkward corner, so I'll try and explain. So this is where the shed is going to be, where all the scrap is here. So this is one of the main machinery sheds now that we have here out back. That's the lake field, as we call it. And then you have the two maize pits there. And then there's this whole section here. So it's a bit of a mess at the moment. This is kind of where we leave a lot of scrap. But a lot of the scrap metal is actually going to be used for the shed itself. So you can see here some of these trusses, the galvanized ones there, they are going to be basically the uprights for the shed. And so I don't know how well you can see there, but basically right there is a gate that goes from the backfield into the lake field here. And there's a little corner section there with a gate that also goes through to what we call the rabbit burrow, where the cattle are now. So this has always been kind of an awkward corner, just because the gate is over there in the middle. So what we're going to do is the shed is going to go from that gate, cutting across and out. It's going to go the line of the ditch here, and we're basically going to bring it the whole way down to the gate here, but we're going to install a proper gate instead of this barbed wire gate, or as we call it, a French gate. So the shed itself is going to be 5 bays long. Each bay is about 6 meters. So that's why he's doing it out of metal, because he wants the longer bays. He's doing them 6 meters apart so that he can fit 2 machines in at a time. So it's going to be a machinery shed. Don't know if I said that. It's going to be another machinery shed down here. At the moment we're storing a lot of our machinery over the winter. We're storing a lot of our machinery over the winter on the second farm. So this is going to mean that we can have that machinery over here, because when Dad wants to work on things during the winter, if they're over there, it's a bit of a hassle sometimes to have to bring them back. So if they're here, then he can just pull them out of the shed and bring them down. So that's why he's doing this machinery shed. Also, he's using up a lot of the scrap metal. We still do have to buy some metal, and we have to buy some concrete for it. It's going to be gravel flooring, but he's going to do obviously the uprights have to be set into concrete. So he's not going to be bolting them into concrete, he's going to be setting them into the concrete. He said that's how he used to do it years ago when he was building sheds for lads. And the main reason, because he wants to save money. The raw bolts are quite expensive. On this shed here that you made, he can see that he's done it where he's bolted the shed to the girder. So basically for this one, because it's galvanized uprights, and 2, to save money on raw bolts, he's going to be setting them into the concrete. So on and all, for the cost of the extra materials, obviously because they are using quite a bit of scrap that we have lying around. Now it's not all going to be made out of scrap, of course. We have had to order a fair bit of the metal for it, but I think they've worked it out that it's going to be about 5,500 for the materials for the shed. Now that's excluding obviously whatever it would have cost if we had to buy all the metal that the scrap is going to be used up. That the scrap is going to be taken up, and that's also not including labor. So that's just for the extra materials we have to buy, and that's also going to include, and now that is also going to include an overhang for the shed here. So he's going to add, I think it's about a 2.5 meter overhang onto this shed as well, just to be able to stock more machinery. And then that shed with the overhang, get what it is in meters. I think it's 20-foot bays, so 6 meter bays, and then it's 24 foot deep, whatever that is in meters, with the overhang. So that's what it's planned on going to be. It'll do a great job on cleaning up this area. It'll all be gravel, and then the roadway to it will be on this side, I guess, between that and the maize pit is where the access point is going to be, basically. And then he's thinking on the other side, because it is a field on the other side and the way in and out over there to the lake field, he's thinking about maybe having a section there, or maybe a section behind, I'm not too sure where he's on about putting it, but basically as a creep for calves. So a little area, a bit of shade for calves to go in and out, and that'll do as a creep. So now this is the other side, the field view from where the shed is going to be. So that's the gate I was talking about there that leads into the lake field that side, and then there's another gate in the corner that leads into the rabbit bar there. So the shed's going to be all along that ditch the whole way down, a little bit past the fence that's down there, and to the gateway, and putting a proper gate down there between the two sheds. So yeah, like I said, it's 5 bays of, I think it's 24-foot bays, no, 20-foot bays, 24-foot deep with the overhang. It's going to be all gravelled off. It's kind of an awkward corner here in the field anyways, because whenever you want to move cattle out to the lake field, we'd usually, from the sheds, we'd usually let them through here sometimes, and calves and stuff will probably just start running along the ditch in there, so it's a little bit awkward. This way it'll be easier to just run them out that corner, and if we're running them into the shed, same thing, they won't turn that way, they'll turn this way. So Dad had already started something with the shed. I think he did the trusses or something like that. He might have filmed it, so if he has, I will show it to you. But I think now that's going to be on pause, one until this metal arrives tomorrow, but maybe until just after the maize. I think he wants to get the maize sown first before he goes and does any more with the shed. So that is the plan for the new shed that's going up. Dad is going to be doing all the work himself. I don't think he plans on getting anyone in for help, but yeah, he used to build sheds for a living back in Ireland for a while before he was in the mines, I believe. So that's all going to be coming soon. I believe the metal is arriving tomorrow, so I'll film that when it shows up. It's supposed to be raining then the weekend. Luke is back this weekend. We were hoping to get the maize out, as the weather is nice now, to get the maize sowed, sorry, but it's actually promised rain from the day Luke arrives to the day he leaves. So I'm guessing that they're not going to be sowing maize, and I think Dad is on about doing the muck spreader, getting some work at that. Ever since it's arrived, he's been itching to get at it, so he'll probably be doing that on the rainy days. And then we're also still tidying up around the yard, so we are still power washing and painting. So Mam has started painting the house and the shed across from the house, and then they're also planning on painting the rest of the yard, but that will also have to wait for sunny days. So yeah, lots of little jobs going on, lots of tidying jobs. The maize is the next big thing, and we want to get that sowed then before we ever start at any silage yet. So that's all what's been planned in the books for now. I will show you along the way. Here's our farm worker. She's the one behind the camera that actually does it all.
About time I got recognised for it.
Did you get any paint on the walls, or is it all on you?
Painting myself clean.
It's still a darker tan than yours, I suppose.
A new tan, yeah. Now go away and leave me alone.
Do you enjoy painting?
I do.
Do you? Yeah. Well, good, because you have a lot of it to do. What colour is this now?
Ton here, about the only colour you can get for outside of buildings in France. They're very,
So-
they don't let you paint your house blue, green, yellow.
They don't let
colour.
you?
I don't know. has to be all in keeping, so not that I wanted to do green, whatever, anyway.
I'll put on the tea, so go on.
So we're brightening up the yard. I have all the other sheds done. Threatening on doing this a long time. But the weather not bad. We said we'd do it now. No, today is good. So I'm just doing the high piece now. And Emily does all the low pieces. I'm going hopefully ploughing after a while. So yeah, we bought a pump sprayer. Well, one we couldn't get it going right, and the other one then, which thought it was a bit messy because you have an awful lot of masking to do. So we found this every bit as quick. So I used a ladder and I hang the bucket on it, and I just do it. I'll do it together, and Emily will do it the rest of the way. And that's not much, so I did 2 little bits now, and that's it, just to keep the place. The last couple of years has been wetter. As I said, we have some of the paint we have for over 2 years, and we bought some now. That's another problem now with the undercoat now. It's a brighter one because we can't get the same shade as we bought a couple of years ago. So we're putting the one we bought lately on now, and then after dinner I'll give it a second coat with a kind of a more creamier one. So that's it. Okay, back in the workshop again. Weather has changed again. It's gone a bit cold, and I'm trying to just match the bar. It's gone a bit cold and showery. Not too bad, but it's just changed. So they have a new project going starting and going making a shed. So I have a good bit of scrap and some sheeting, and I'll show you. So I'll show you here first. So I have a lot of these gates. I'll turn around the camera. So I have a lot of these barriers, and I'm going using them for the trusses. So I'll just show you now what it looks like. So I have to clean up the workshop first and then mark it out on the floor, but I'll show you here on my drawing board. So it's going to be 24 foot wide. So there's going to be the 2 trusses, or the trusses, like that, and I have to angle it. I'm going to leave the gate the same way. It's an old feeding barrier. So then I have pillars here. It's going to bolt on. I'll show you the pillars now. They're actually galvanized telegraph poles. And one here, like that. So then on the top of this pillar will be the back purlin, and then they'll be like that. So there's going to be an overhang as well of 2.5 meters. Now, actually, I'll do it that way. I don't want it sticking down. And then there's purlins on that as well. Now, it's going to be 5 6-meter bays. So I had some timbers. I was going to use timbers. I'm trying to use up as much stuff as I have, just to get rid of it as well. And I need a shed for machinery. And I don't want to blow the budget either. So I have to cut these at an angle now, and I want to draw it out on the ground. Mark at the scale, so when I'm out at the shed I'm not cutting or grinding, it'll just all bolt together. And normally I not plate these, but now I'm going sinking them into the ground, and because I haven't gotten the raw bolts, and these galvanised uprights, they're hard to weld to. And well, they putting them the way I am, when you see me ahead, you might understand. So what else about it? Yeah, that's it. So like I said, I want to use up as much, and this gable end in will be sheeted down almost to the ground. That won't be. And I'll probably put gutters on the back of it. Now half it is going up again a ditch, so I'll be just putting the space boarding, or Yorkshire boarding someone calls it, on one side of it, and some sheeting on the other. So I'm going to try to use as much of the one colour sheeting as I can, but on one gable end it has to be red, because I know I won't have enough. I have bought some. I hope now in the next 3 to 4 weeks to have it made and up. Gary is back in a couple of weeks, so I'll have him to lift up these when, and I'm melting up the leather. So yeah, that's it. And I'll show you the steel I'm using on that now. New sheeting and the purlines, and what else? Yeah, that's it. So and then I'll tell you then exactly what it cost me when I have it up. So I have it marked out there on the floor with a chalk line. I do mark it out to scale, and don't know if you can see it. That's the width of the upright. From one, once you have one straight line, then you can get your levels off of that. So it'll be 3 foot from there to the top. That's the fall. So then I'll get Laura now. We'll run a chalk line from there down, and I'll divide out my where the purlines go, mark the haul outs, and I have to make a template here then out of steel, because I'll have to angle the gates to fit there. Take off all these ends, take off all of them, so then this has to be cut off completely, this, and then going at the angle, whatever the angle is, and then I'll be bolting this to the pole, not with these. Maybe I could either just cut that off and use them for bolts, even though they're handy for hinges. So back here at the shed, so that's my angle here. So I've made up this little jig here. It sits down perfect, nice and snug on it. So it's going to be, when I cut it, it'll be the same angle on both ends. But then when I cut in, I have to take out 3 inches, make it 3 inches shorter to allow the 3 inches for these two. So they're going to be bolted onto the upright. So that's it. And then I have to divide out yet where my cleats are going. So there's going to be one up here. It won't be on the top girder. This is the top one. There's going to be one. You can see that's the pole there, the chalk marks. I hope you can see it. And there'll be one up there, so the sheet will go out proud of the, and I'll show you here on the sheets. There'll be one here, another, and there'll be on the overhang, there'll be another purlin. So the sheets on this will go along here like this, like so. And then these ones, I'm not putting a ridge cap on it, the French do it that way. The sheet will go under it and down like that. So it's just a little bit. The big shed up there, which was here, the big wooden shed, it's done like that, and it's faced the right way. Now if that was facing west, I might put a ridge cap on it, but yeah, that's the sheeting, and the sheeting will hang out then 2.5 inches proud of the back upright to allow when I put a gutter on it. So that's it. So I have to cut these now and allow the 3 inches. So on the back one, I'll draw it out separate. On the back one, say the girder is, or the upright, is straight cut, and then this comes down here, sticks up about 3 inches there, because that's to follow the roof. So it'll be sticking up about 3 inches above that, because I'm not cutting that at an angle, but there's still room there for the bolt, 2 bolts. So the other one then, the last power line will fit on the girder, on the upright, but they're not girders. So that's all. And then when I have this one cut out and the cleats on it, I'll make all the rest of them on top of it. So they'll be all definitely spot on. I'll put this on a stand now when I have it made up, so the next ones I don't have to be stooped over on the floor. So now, have them cut there now. That's the angle of it. So this is the power lines I'm using. So this one, the first one on the low side is sitting on top of the girder. There. Right there. So I have to make up a bracket so it'll correspond, so it'll be sitting on this, and I don't have, normally they'll be at an angle, behind the back one is straight. So yeah, and then make up the brackets for the power lines, and there's going to be 1 on the girder, 2 in the middle, and 1 here at the top. So I have to make a template or a flat plate, same as this. This will be the back one. That'll hook on to the top of the girder or the upright, so I can bore the holes all the same. Now, I was on a bore straight through the whole lot. They're a hollow section, the uprights. But now I'm just on a bore through one side, because I better get my hand down through the middle and get the bolt or the nut on. So that's what I'm going to do. Now, the top of these, the hole is further down on this bracket than the bottom, so I can't turn them around. I have to make sure to keep them all the right way, or it won't be right when I put it together. And it's the same up here then. The same template will do to bore these uprights. So now I have them tightened up. This end here, I had to give it a bit of a squeeze with the clamp. When I cut it, spread out a bit, small a bit. But it'll be okay, I'm happy enough with it. So make up the 2 templates now and get all that sorted out before I go on to the next one.